out of Arsenal, and it's the news that their fans have been waiting for since the transfer window opened. They have signed Victor Gyokeres from Sporting on a 5-year deal that could reach a total of £63.5 million. Gyokeres has become one of the most in-demand strikers in Europe in recent years. The 27-year-old scored a remarkable 54 goals in 52 games last season, and after months of speculation, he has finally signed for Arsenal, who end their search for a goal-scoring striker. The Sweden international will now join up with the rest of his teammates in Singapore. Now, after finishing second in the Premier League last season, Arsenal have made a huge push this summer. Gyokeres joins Noni Madueke, Martin Zubimendi, Christian Norgard, Christian Mosquera and Kepa Arrizabalaga as new arrivals at the Emirates. It takes their spending to almost £200 million. Gyokeres outscored all the big names across Europe last season with 54 goals in all competitions for Sporting, plus 13 assists. He scored 10 goals more than Kylian Mbappe, 12 more than Robert Lewandowski, 13 more than Harry Kane, and 20 more than both Mo Salah and Erling Haaland.
But also from the beginning that it's difficult to deal with Sporting, to negotiate with them, because they want every penny, they keep changing their mind, their president, and it's quite difficult in that sense. He just wants the value that he's decided for his players, and it doesn't always work like that. But eventually, finally, they've got Gyokeres. They wanted him for the start of pre-season. He's missed the start of pre-season and the first game friendly match against AC Milan, but he should be there now for the rest of it, and then obviously for the start of the season, which I guess is always the most important. We're not sure in what kind of fitness he really is, because he didn't really take part into the Sporting kind of pre-season tour, if you want, because he was on the move and he wanted to join Arsenal for a few weeks now. But at least they've got him. He's going to do his medical, and then hopefully he's going to hit the ground running for them.
So obviously the hope is that he will join up quickly. How does timing affect players when they're not there, Stevie, from day one of the pre-season in a new club, in a new setup?
I think a lot of the time that's down to the individual. How coming in late can affect you. You know, if you get a real strong-willed, good character, then he'll just come in and play, and he won't be thinking about not being integrated with the team. However, if you get somebody in who's the type that needs an arm around the shoulder all the time, then it could affect them. But again, as always, when that happens, you don't get the answer until we're 2 or 3 games in to see whether he's actually, does he understand what United are trying to do, Arsenal are trying to do? Does he understand the players around them, what they're looking for from him? Do they understand him? So all of these things that, if he'd come in right at the start, by the time the season kicks off, all those fears are allayed, because you've spent enough time with everybody that they know your game and you know theirs. So a lot of it is down to him, but it's certainly not ideal.
No, it's always the sooner the better, right, Shaka?
It is. I'll go slightly differently on Stephen. I don't think it's that big a deal for a player of Gyokeres' age, experience, and quality. Now, maybe if you're having this conversation about Benjamin Sesko at 22 years old, you want to come in a little bit sooner. But for somebody, Gyokeres, as I say, a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, I think he hits the ground running. It's well enough ahead at the start.